Could it be that the additional arrows were brought in by a third party?
Bruh.
A third party? So someone besides Kokichi or Himiko?
That's just a guess, though. There's no way a third party exists.
Okay.
If a third party did exist, why would they bring 2 arrows?
Kaito was the only one with a crossbow. I made sure I handed it to him.
Kaito said he only needed 1 arrow. Clearly, he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
So the other 2 arrows weren't for Kaito.
Whoa.
They were for the third party to use themselves.
What?
So the third party didn't hand the arrows through the window. Instead, they went into the hangar and shot the crossbow themselves?
That's OD.
Impossible. There was an alarm system and an electric barrier around the hangar.
Well, the magic hammer we found was around the fucking hangar, right?
Yeah. That hangar should have been completely closed off, right?
That's crazy if there was a third person that just came in and just killed 2 of them. That'd be OD. But can we confirm that? I feel like there might be another way. Some way that we haven't figured out yet. I'm overlooking something. Think. What method did the third party use to enter the hangar? Hangman's Gambit, huh? We should get the first word. Huh, E. Oh, this should be interesting. E. Oh, Exisol. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that makes sense. The Exisol because they probably bought one of them. Holy shit. That was the smarter whoever tried to do that. To get in with the Exisol. Yeah, let's go. Complete.
That's it! The Exisol! The Exisol could be used to enter the hangar.
That's crazy.
We couldn't get in because of the alarm system and the electric barrier. But that shouldn't have been a problem for any of the Exisols, right? So if you wanted to enter the hangar, all you had to do was pilot an Exisol.
That's smart as fuck.
I saw an Exisol enter the hangar last night.
Ooh, who else did you see go into the fucking hangar?
So was this third party piloting it?
By the way, I just want to confirm something with Monokuma. Would the alarm still go off if there was a person inside an Exisol?
Probably not.
Well, I wasn't trying to keep this secret, but since it's about the details of the hangar, I guess I can tell you guys. It makes sense that the alarm system and electric barrier wouldn't react to an Exisol. After all, the hangar is where the Exisols are supposed to be stored. It'd be a hassle to disable the security every time an Exisol comes and goes, you know? So even if someone is inside an Exisol, the security system wouldn't catch them. Because it'd be a hassle to leave the Exisol every time you have to put it away.
So it's like Shuichi said? A third party got in an Exisol and entered the hangar?
That's wild.
But can just anyone pilot an Exisol?
Well, Kokichi,
It's surprisingly easy. If you use both hands, both feet, and both nipples, you can do it.
Bruh.
Nipples too?
Anyway, this third party commandeered an Exisol and infiltrated the hangar.
Maki. Maki was the only one without a hammer.
That same person must have brought the other 2 arrows with them.
I told you that's impossible.
Huh?
There's no way you can get through security if you pilot an Exisol. It's not possible.
What? Not possible.
Maki, what are you talking about? What are you thinking? What do you know? How do you know? Why are you trying to hide it? Why? Why won't you tell me? Ah! There was a fucking hammer in there, and she came without her hammer, bro. Used electro hammer is
someone was
probably
piloting
it.
the
I'm just
exisal,
saying. I'm just
They
saying.
could have used it to enter the hangar.
That's not possible.
Is operating the exisal really that difficult?
Do we even know how to get inside an exisal? Outside the hangar, there were 4 exisals. And they were all moving too.
I was controlling them remotely.
Electro hammers weren't an option. Yesterday, all the hammers were still recharging.
Oh, damn it. I missed it.
Exisal.
I'm
So
pretty sure
getting
that's what I
inside
had
one
it.
would have been impossible.
Impossible.
You're right,
There's
it's
2
impossible.
possibilities. It's not impossible. There's one way to stop an exisal. I have to show them.
If someone was
You
piloting
have to
the
use
exisal,
electro hammer.
they could have used it to enter the hangar.
Oh man,
That's
I think
not
I
possible.
fucked up.
Is operating the exisal really that difficult?
Do we even know how to get inside an exisal? Outside the hangar, there were 4 exisals. And they were all moving too.
I was controlling them remotely.
Alright.
Electro hammers weren't an option.
Hatches a lot electronic lock. The 2 exisals at the scene of the crime, one was in storage with his cockpit closed. Oh, the other was in the middle of the hangar with his hatch open and his cockpit exposed. Ooh. Is there two things here? There's enough space in the cockpit for 1 person. There's an electric. Ooh! She said it was impossible. Oh, there's a back right. There's a back route here, dude. There's a fucking back route. Okay. Oh, so we can either use.
Yesterday,
We can
all the
use
hammers were
this?
still recharging.
We can use
There's
that on
no way to
there, I
stop an
think,
exisal.
or we can use
So
Hatch's
getting
electronic
inside
lock.
one would have been impossible.
Yup! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
While investigating the exisals, I noticed that they have no locks on their cockpit hatches. It should have been possible to get into the cockpit, providing they could reach it.
But that's reckless, absurd, and useless.
Useless! Useless!
Jump inside a moving exisal? That's not really possible.
No, I think it is. You would need to be quick, agile, athletic, and stealthy. I can think of at least 1 person who fits that description.
What? Are you implying that it's...
Oh, I see. And since he's a robot, he could have some robo-communication function.
Huh? Was that directed at me? As I said, my speed, agility, and strength are equal to that of a human, if not weaker. So I cannot fight an exisal, and I certainly cannot communicate with one.
The selling point of being a robot is being good in combat, but poor Kibo.
Please don't act like I drew the short straw.
Stop this pointless conversation, Shuichi. If you want to say something, say it already.
Maki, just to confirm, as the ultimate assassin, you would be able to jump into that exisal, correct?
Impossible. If I could do that, I would have turned the exisal into scrap on the first day.
Maybe. Unless you were hiding your true potential. In which case...
Stop messing around. Are you telling me to prove something I can't do? Do you really suspect me that much?
No, actually. I'm trying to find a way to prove that you couldn't be the intruder.
Fine then. I'll explain. There was another problem that doesn't involve my talent. You said earlier that the hatch doesn't have a lock, but that's incorrect. The Exisal's hatch has an electronic lock, so it can't be opened from the outside.
What?
Yup, electronic lock, electro hammer, bro.
An electronic lock?
Yes, you can't open the hatch from the outside. It's impossible to get into the cockpit. Satisfied now?
You just made something very clear to me, Maki. You do know something after all, and you're hiding it from me.
How do you know there's an electronic lock on the Exisal's hatch?
How do you know that? Huh? I'm the fucking ultimate detective. If I wouldn't know, how would you know?
Because I checked it during the investigation.
Oh, really?
That can't be true. I'm the only person Monokuma told about those locks.
Well, and didn't he tell Kibo?
Just you? I see. If that's the case. Then you lied just to confirm if I knew about the electronic lock.
Yes, I did. And I'm sorry. I thought you were hiding something from me, Maki. I was confirming my suspicion. Now please, tell us the truth. How do you know about the hatch?
When Monokuma explained it to you, I just happened to overhear it, that's all.
You're lying, Maki.
Lying, why you always lying? Oh my god.
You know about the locks because you've been inside one of the cockpits.
One of the cocks.
So annoying. Do you want to die? You're the one who's lying.
Huh? That's a suspicious thing to say. Are you actually the culprit, Maki?
Either way, there's an electronic lock so you can't open the hatch from the outside. Because of that, no one could have entered the hangar piloting an exisal.
Damn, this is the longest back route I've seen so far. It looks like she's never going to admit it on her own. There's something important that she's protecting by keeping her mouth shut. In that case, I have to keep pushing. I need to go over each piece of evidence and find out what she's hiding. It's the only thing I can do.
Maki's saying it's impossible, but there is a way to open the hatch.
Oh, you mean with your magic, right?
I won't say such a lame thing anymore. I can't stay a dreamer forever.
What?
That lock is electronic, so won't an electro hammer work on it? That would let you stop an exisal and open its hatch. Of course, my magic is also an option.
Bruh.
A dreamer to the end, huh?
True, with an electro hammer, that method might be possible. But the electro hammers were recharging yesterday, so entering an exisal would be...
Wait. Not all of the electro hammers were being charged.
Yup.
I know because I found one. There was a used electro hammer near Monokuma and the exisals.
Is that electro hammer used by the third party? Maybe they used it to disable an exisal.
Yes, I think so. When I saw them last afternoon, there were 4 exisals. But this morning, there were only 3.
I noticed that too. Was the missing exisal taken by this third party?
Shuichi is getting warmer. How about you say the answer right now?
It had to be Maki because she was the only one who didn't have her hammer.
Who did it? Who is this third party?
Come on! The identity of the third party. The electro hammer gives us a clue. I saw 4 exisals at the scene yesterday when I went to meet up with Kaito. This morning when we were trying to get into the hangar, we were 3. There were 3, excuse me. Yes, you know, the culprit must have used the electro hammer between yesterday afternoon and this morning. There's only one person among us that I can think of could do that. Yup.
It's you!
It's you, Maki! I mean, that was easy.
Maki, you're the third party we're looking for, aren't you?
Yes, we need you to develop more games for Nintendo systems, because Nintendo system needs more third-party develop. Wait, what?
What? It's Maki?
Maki? Maki roll.
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Remember what Kokichi said.
But be careful, the electro hammer runs out of battery pretty quickly. My phone is dying, bro. What the fuck?
The electro hammer needs to be recharged for 24 hours after it runs out of battery. That hammer was used last afternoon, so it couldn't have been used this morning.
Oh, right. When we were all gathered in the dining hall this morning,
I don't need it. I'd rather not use an unfamiliar weapon. This is much better. A knife? Well, I suppose you know best.
Maki was the only one without an electro hammer, wasn't she?
Knowing that, the electro hammer I found could only have belonged to Maki. And that leads me to the conclusion that Maki must be the third party. She also knows how to assemble the crossbow and could have returned it to her lab later.
You brought a different crossbow than the one Kaito had, right?
Maki took 2 arrows and her own crossbow from her lab, disabled the exisal with an electro hammer, and infiltrated the hangar.
So what you're trying to say is both are dead? Both? Why else would she shoot my dude?
Now we just have to figure out what happened after.
I'll kill your logic.
Whoa, you're gonna kill my logic?
Why are you doing this?
What?
Why are you getting in my way?
What?
Getting in your way? Maki, what are you...
Yes, I'm the third party.
Huh?
I admit to going into the hangar with an exisal, and then shooting the crossbow. I didn't kill anyone. I'm not the culprit!
Okay, I didn't say you were though. So, I need you to back up and calm that ass down.
You're right.
How did I miss
used the
that?
electro hammer, and I used the exisal to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there. However, I am not the culprit. Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon.
It's no use, she's not listening to me at all, but I came back down here.
You're right. I used the electro hammer, and I used the exisal to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there.
Oh, I can
However,
hit it!
I am not the culprit. Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon.
Alright, okay, we advanced
The
it.
crossbow is not the murder weapon? What do you mean?
The arrows left holes in their clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots
The poison we found.
wouldn't result in a fatal injury. That's why the crossbow can't be the murder weapon. Therefore, I'm not the culprit.
I don't want to think that Maki is the culprit. I want to believe her. But the way she's scrambling to defend herself.
The arrows left holes in their
The
clothes.
poison, yeah.
Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
Ah!
That's why the crossbow
I
can't be the
missed!
murder weapon. Therefore, I'm not the culprit.
Not like this! I'm not good with a sword.
The
I'm not
arrows
good
left
with a
holes in
sword.
their clothes.
Give me a gun!
Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
No, be cut!
I'll cut through your words.
I'll cut through the words. Shishimi! Shishimi those words.
It wouldn't matter where the arrow hit if it were poisoned.
Got him.
poison?
I noticed something about the poison in my lab during the investigation. There was just a little less in the bottle than before.
Little less. This dude's photographic ass memory.
If that poison had been applied to those arrows, they would have been lethal, no matter where they connected.
Maki, do you have a rebuttal?
What's the matter? Why don't you say anything? Don't tell me. Are you really the culprit?
There's no way she is! 'Cause why would she kill Kaito?
I can't understand if you don't explain anything!
Maki is still fighting.
Huh? Fighting?
Do you remember that Maki said she would do anything to defeat Kokichi? Maki is trying to kill Kokichi in this class trial. She wants to kill the mastermind, a remnant of despair.
Then when Maki said she would sacrifice anything, she meant...
See, dude, that dude does. The reaction from the guy in the fucking suit is like, what the fuck are they talking about? Remnant of despair? He didn't get all his memories back. So that is, it's either. It had to be Kaito. Kaito didn't get all his memories back, right? The sacrifice that Maki is talking about must be all of us. All of us. All of the fucking above. All of the above. We didn't care about
She
living.
plans to sacrifice all of our lives in order to kill Kokichi.
Sacrifice us?
Then, by hiding the truth, Maki was trying to get us to arrive at the wrong answer. Just to kill Kokichi and the rest of us along with him?
Doesn't that mean that Maki's the culprit?
I don't know.
She knew what happened and tried to hide it from us.
But that mischievous plan was ruined, all thanks to Shuichi here. Too bad, Maki. I already predicted this would happen.
You knew all along that Maki was the culprit. That's why you've been so calm.
This isn't over.
This isn't over, asshole.
Maybe we do have the truth now, but this isn't over. We have a choice to make. We don't have to follow where the evidence leads.
Huh? What do you mean?
Does this mean you're gonna vote for someone else, even if it's not the truth?
Someone else? You mean vote incorrectly on purpose?
Really?
What did you say?
Kaito told me that only I would be able to grasp what lies beyond the truth. That means finding the truth is not enough. We need to grasp the hope just beyond it. So Maki, please tell us the truth. The truth that only you know.
Bruh.
So Kaito said that to you. Then, does that mean you guys made up before he died?
Yeah, when I went to see him yesterday.
I see. Okay, I'll talk about it. Especially since it's my responsibility for involving everyone. Shuichi, you're so persistent. Were you always like that?
Were?
You think so? Maybe Kaito's charisma is starting to rub off on me.
That guy could be pretty stubborn.
Then, what really happened?
Maki, please tell us.
Please.
I guess we're gonna have to find out in the next episode, huh?
And so, Maki began telling the truth. A truth that would leave us all in shock.
Don't just start narrating things, you're ruining the mood!
Right? That's my job.
Well, I guess this turn of events isn't exactly boring either.
Intermission!